Now we review the film Orion and the Dark. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, my friend Larry over at Chili Boy Productions, who also reviews movies, saw Orion in the Dark. And I saw him review Orion in the Dark, and I was like, let me call my friends who have Netflix and try to watch Orion in the Dark. And yeah, it was alright. You have a kid who suffers from ridiculous levels of phobia, who is Orion, and he is telling the story of how the dark came and visited him, and you learned that the dark was a necessary part of life. And that is as far as spoilers should go. But this is a really meta kind of movie that involves multiple generations. Before I get any further than that, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean then pulls a pound of trash to the ocean every time I do that, so comment, like, and subscribe. Do your part for a better world. Shameless self-promotion done. Alright, so yes. To be clear, the dark in this movie is based very similarly on, I believe the deity is called Nyx, which is a Greek goddess of night. Okay, night and darkness. And if you look at Fantasia, the original Fantasia, she's actually in there. The night falls over the land, and she's the head of the night, drawing the night. And the lore here is that if the darkness ever met the day, the darkness would disappear. Which is a little hokey, because darkness is not just a night thing. There are caves, there are shadows. Darkness lives beyond the night, and if we realize that, then darkness is not something that can be simply destroyed by the light. Darkness is an eternal force that is never destructible. But in this film, that's the lore, that darkness will be destroyed by the meeting the day. And darkness feels bad about itself because everyone's afraid of it. Everyone has night terrors. So darkness has met the scariest kid in the world, and he's going, if I can change this one kid, I can make my life better. And of course, this plan kind of backfires, because that's what plans do. But there are other characters in here like Sweet Dreams, Quiet, Insomnia, and, you know, this is what these characters do, is they go about and they create the night, and they have jobs that, you know, get our world to keep going. Alright? And, yeah, this feels like a children's storybook. It's not very sophisticated, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but it's something to amuse children, and your children will likely be amused. I really like the fact that they use celestial names like Orion, which is one of my favorite constellations in this film. I really like the fact that the planetarium very well could be the Griffith Observatory, which I actually went to as a kid, you know. So this is a very Hollywood movie. This is a very California movie. It's a Netflix film, and you know what? It is not a stellar movie. It is literally of the stars. Stars play a part in here, but it is very much a children's movie. It works well as a children's movie. There's not a huge amount for adults. There is a huge amount for children. So yes, this belongs smack dab in the middle of your watch list. It is a Netflix film. If you have Netflix and you have kids, particularly if they're afraid of the dark, I would recommend you watch this movie. If you do not have kids, if you don't like kids' films, this movie will not appeal to you. Alright? This movie is not for everyone. You know, there are a few scenes that are a little on the scary side, but that's, you know, what you expose children to in order to get them to overcome their fears. So yeah, not a terrible movie, not a great movie. It runs smack dab in the middle for me. I really liked the voice work. The imagery was very fun. But I mean, again, if my brother who I haven't spoken to in years, came over and said, would you recommend Orion and the Dark? I would say no, not for you. It's not your kind of movie. So that's where it is. This is a movie for a certain demographic. It is a fun film for kids. It is meant to be a fun film for kids. And if you have kids, pop it on while you're doing something else and get them to leave you alone. But that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours. Down in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying medals from the Conqueror. Randall out.